Well, I don't know if all the world's a stage for our next guest, but certainly enough of them here in San Francisco. I'd like to welcome Rudy Guerrero to the show. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
You know, it was funny, back in the green room, I said, God, I know I've met you, but I've never met you. I've just seen you on stage.
Right.
Go through a list of your credits. You've been on a lot of stages here in the Bay Area.
Oh my gosh, that's a dangerous question.
I know, I'm sorry. You're an actor, you can handle it.
I've been fortunate enough to work at a number of theaters in the Bay Area. I'm working right now at Theater Rhinoceros, but I've had the pleasure of working at the Magic Theater, ACT, Berkeley Rep, Theater Works, Marin Theater Company, Marin Shakespeare Company, Lorraine Hansberry Theater, Word for Word. I mean, the list goes on.
You've been around, pardon me.
Yes, yes.
And some TV work too, correct?
A little bit of TV. I'm primarily a stage actor, but I've done some TV.
Do you like TV? You kind of said it like, oh, like a true legit actor would say, oh, TV, it's, you know.
To be honest, TV hasn't been that interested in me, but the theater world has completely embraced me.
Right. Now, you said this is your first production ever at Theater Rhinoceros.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about, there's 3 one-acts, and you are in 2 out of the 3. The first one, Drunk Enough to Say I Love You.
Yes.
And another one called?
The other one that I'm in is called 7 Palestinian Children.
Let's start with the drunk play. Tell me about that.
Drunk Enough to Say I Love You is written by Carol Churchill, who is one of Britain's most controversial playwrights. And in Drunk Enough to Say I Love You, she is writing a play about these 2 men, an American and a Brit, who fall in love. And what she's doing is she's looking at international relations and world conflict through the relationship of these 2 men.
Now, all right, well, 2 things. I would say if it was like an American maybe and an Iraqi, I could understand it, but there typically isn't a lot of tension between the United States and Britain. So what's that about, and why is she one of Britain's most controversial playwrights?
Why is she one of Britain's most controversial playwrights? This particular play, when it opened, people, when they saw it, thought she was talking about the relationship between Bush and Blair. And at the time, political pundits were putting out cartoons that showed Bush and Blair in bed together.
Right.
But that's really not what she's writing about. She's looking at but the history of the relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom from about the Vietnam War to the present.
Interesting period.
Yeah. But what she's done is she's written this really scintillating, sexy, scary play about these 2 men who fall in love. Yeah.
And who are you, the Brit or the American?
I play Sam, the American, as in Uncle Sam.
I got it.
And
the other guy is?
Jack, as in Union Jack.
Got it, yeah. In case we just didn't get it all.
Yeah.
And the other play also has clearly a lot of political overtones.
Yes. She wrote 7 Jewish children. And for her, it was this sort of history of Israel in 7 scenes. And it's a short 1-act play, and when that premiered, it was very controversial, to the point where a number of other playwrights wrote plays in response to her playwright, or her play. So Deb Margolin wrote a play called 7 Palestinian Children.
And Deb is a local playwright, correct?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's interesting about those 2 plays is Deb Margolin wrote her play in the exact same style that Carol Churchill wrote 7 Jewish Children. So these plays actually speak to one another about the current situation in Palestine.
So I imagine that one, 7 Jewish Children, is more pro-Israel, and the other one is more pro-Palestinian.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not that we don't have enough troubles in the world. Are we expecting protest in the lobby of Theater Rhino? Or?
I hope not.
Yeah.
These plays are interesting in that what both playwrights have done is they've taken the issues, and they have adults speaking to or about children. And as adults, we tend to be very careful or conscious about what we say and how we say it. So that's how these 2 plays are framed.
Right. Now, I'll ask the obvious question. What is the gay angle in these 2 plays?
In those 2 plays, I don't see a gay angle, but Drunk Enough to Say I Love You is very gay.
Yeah. The reason I ask is because, I mean, there was a time when Theater Rhino was, if there wasn't an overtly gay angle, they just wouldn't do it. So, I mean, do you think that shows in the way maybe a maturing of the gay theater world here in San Francisco that we have a play with an overt gay angle, Drunk Enough to Say I Love You, and then 2 plays about a non-gay political issue.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Theater Rhinoceros is celebrating its 35th anniversary this year, so they've been around for a long time. And I think you're right, this does show a growth and evolution of the theater company.
Right. Now, you know, as I said when you came on, I recognized you from your stage work. That means you work a lot, so you don't need to do anything else. You're a full-time professional actor?
I am, lucky enough.
Wow. I mean, I meant that as a joke, because it's very rare to meet a full, I mean, so you're one of those people that makes your money living on the boards.
Yes, I do.
How long did that take?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to be able to make my living as a theater actor for a number of years, but I think what helps is the Bay Area. The Bay Area theater community has been wonderful in giving me opportunities to play roles that I honestly don't think I would have been able to play anywhere else in the country.
Like what?
Oh gosh, I mean, I get to play a wide variety. I do musicals, I do Shakespeare, comedies, dramas. Roles in particular, I would say what's playing on Broadway right now, the revival of Pippin. And, you know, their angle is they have an African-American woman in the role of the leading player, which was originated by Ben Vereen.
Exactly.
But in the Bay Area, I got to play that role. And it was a fantastic opportunity.
Yeah, so breaking molds, I mean, less stereotypes on stage here in the Bay Area.
Exactly.
So where did you receive your training? You're originally from Hawaii, correct?
I am.
And then you came to the Bay Area?
I came to the Bay Area after a small stint in Hawaii as an actor, moved up here, and started working professionally pretty immediately. But after a number of years, I realized, oh, I guess theater is going to be my career. And if so, I better get some training, some formal training. So I dropped out of the theater community for a while and got a Bachelor's of Fine Arts degree in musical theater from the Boston Conservatory. And then came back to the Bay Area and got my master's degree in acting from ACT.
So it's what, a triple threat? Actor, singer, dancer, the whole thing?
So they say.
Yeah. Right. In our last few moments, tell me the dates for Drunk Enough to Say I Love You and 7 Palestinian Children at Theater Rhino.
Okay, well, we opened on June 1st.
Right.
And we're scheduled to play until June 16th. And it's playing at the Costume Shop, which is located at 117 Market Street at 7th.
Great. Well, we look forward to seeing it. We've been speaking with Rudy Guerrero, one of the Bay Area's most prolific actors. I'm David Perry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on 10%.